Welcome back, artists. I'm Wyatt Paints. And this week, a client of mine that's a huge Rick and Morty fan has tasked me in creating a few statues that he wants to give away as Christmas present. First up is a statue inspired by Halloween, with Rick dressed up as Michael Myers. Because I'm going to be trying to recreate that animated style, I'm going to be working with a lot of flat colors and black lining. So, that should make this a pretty easy and straightforward project that's going to lean heavily on basic techniques with a few flourishes here and there. But this project can't get finished until I get started, and I can't get started until I stop yammering. So, meet me over at the painting table. I'm going to grab my brushes. Let's get started. I'm starting as usual with the base, after already dry fitting and priming. And no, you're not seeing double. My client wants two of them, so it just makes sense to do them both at the same time. The base looks like a creepy front stoop of concrete and worn floorboards. For the stonework, deep gray will get me going. Like most first colors I lay down, this is done with almost zero concern on how I'm doing it, except when it comes to the thinness. Thin, smooth coats are always paramount. You can fix a lot of oopsies as you paint, but an uneven, chunky base only gets worse as you go. It's always a good idea to start with the best foundation you can, which doesn't mean it's going to take a lot of time, just a bit of due diligence. Keeping the paint loosey-goosey, I swapped over to leather brown for the wood. You may notice the scratchy, patchy coverage. While not on purpose, I'm choosing not to fix it with a full opaque coat because I know I want a very worn and weathered look. Letting some of the black prime survive will just help with that goal. So, getting 90 to 95% coverage is going to be plenty. But I will try to make the undercoverage a bit more effective by keeping my strokes in line with the general grain of the wood. It's a small thing, but it adds to the overall age. To add to the weathering, I pulled out sepia ink. I'm using an ink over a wash here for two reasons. First, being an ink means the color is much more intense, so it'll take less to get the effect that I want. And second, ink tends to be much thinner or a faster tool to use. This allows me to get the paint into the thinner gaps easier, so that the very fine lines of the wood can get picked up in a single pass. Though I did give a bit of a second helping for the deeper cracks. To finish off the porch, I went back to leather brown, this time as a light dry brush. Since I'm looking to pick up the raised grain, my strokes shifted 90 degrees to be perpendicular to them. But as you can see, that led to a bit of unwanted stripiness, especially after a reload. But knocking off the excess paint and going back with a lighter touch can help smooth out that zebra pattern. Just a bit of patience is the prescription for success. Now this porch needed its prop in the form of a spooky jack-o'-lantern, and it should be easy enough. And since I still had it out, leather brown seemed like a good starting point. In the painting hobby, there are a few colors that can be a pain to work with and still make look good, with orange being one of the biggest butt pains. A little trick to make these a ton easier is to use a good undercolor to build up from. Compared to black, a medium brown is a fantastic undertone. It's way better due to being a much warmer color comparatively. So, best advice, don't fight what works. After getting off the train in Browntown, I picked up Molten Lava. I want a medium light dry brush here as I want to cover a majority of the surface while leaving the brown peeking out in the seams. To make this easy on myself, I maintain a low paint load on my brush. This way, it's going to take a bit of effort to build it up where I want it, with the idea being if it takes a while to get to where I want to go, it's going to be pretty hard to overshoot it. As a final peak highlight, I pulled out flickering flames and a very light and scratchy highlight. And yeah, I did say scratchy. If I keep this pretty light and perpendicular to the longitudinal lines, the scratchiness will read as a natural discoloration of the gourd. Now, mind you, while I do have a lot of wiggle room doing this, I still want to use the back of my hand to check how my paint is coming off the brush. A beginner painter hopes they don't have too much paint, while an elder painter trusts nothing and no one and tests every reload. With the oranges done, a touch of Brigadine Brown is going to finish off these Porch Guardians so they can be slid over into the done list. Before I get to Rick himself, I'd like to take a moment to thank my subscribers over on Patreon. The holiday season is always the time of year where wallets get the tightest when taking care of those that we love. So it warms my cold, frozen soul to see so many of you folks set aside a few bucks to include my channel. I can't thank you enough. Whether you're a board member or a variety of fan member, it's your support that keeps this channel going. I mean it. Even my freemium only fans. Few pics are coming soon. I know what you want. If you would like to join the painting pantheon, you'll find a link to it below. With that said, there's a certain scientist looking for a quiet place to get his squanch on. Let's get back to it. They say you can tell the measure of a man by his shoes, and Rick tends to wear basic brown, despite being anything but basic. Or maybe he is. I'm still learning the slang from like 5 years ago, so I don't know if that's skibbity or 6'7". I'm just trying to game the algorithm. Don't hate me for it. Or you can show me it's working by hitting that like button. Gotta get hip with the kids. After the brown bodies, a quick swipe at black for the soles finished them off. Moving on to the torso, I went with Castle Gray for the main color. It's a slightly warm gray to help stand out from the more neutral gray in the step, but putting such a light color over black is gonna take time and many layers to get a solid coverage that I'm looking for. Because remember, I'm trying to replicate the animated show, so while I like using gradients in the bases, the subjects need to be flat, solid coverage. Truth be told, it took me about 7 coats to get it done. But then I realized I forgot to do the arms. Fun times. After many coats, I moved on to the mask with ash gray. And here's a fun fact. The original mask used in the first Halloween was a Captain Kirk mask that they spray painted white. Next, a bit of burgundy brown handled the hair. Now it was time to get the skin down, and I went with something light and peachy with leopard stone. Just like with the jumpsuit, this is going to take a lot of thin layers to get smooth full coverage. Even now, I still have to catch myself whenever I try to shortcut this and slap on a thick coat. It never works out. Just don't do it. Stick with the thin coats, eventually they will add up. And while I'm trying to control my overspill, using flat colors will make it super easy to clean up, so you really shouldn't stress about it. Next, I hopped up to his hair with Shield Wall Blue. Now, this is a super complicated surface which can be really daunting to paint. You might be tempted to just go at it with a semi-stiff brush like this, but you'll quickly realize it doesn't do a very good job at it, and really just ends up missing a lot of spots, which is going to lead to you having to go back and doing a lot of touch-ups in all the spots that you missed. As an alternative, try using a detail brush to cleanly do the outside edge. Once that's done, you can swap to a bigger brush to do the fill. Remember, paint smarter, not harder. To fill in the detail for the face, I use Spaceship Exterior for the eyes. This is a good time to remind you, if you need something to be white, don't use white, use an off-white. It's going to get you there with nowhere near as much hassle. Then, a touch of Wyvern Fury for his tongue. And finally, the tiniest detail brush put in dots of Brain Matter Beige for his teeth. Details like this are best done from a minimal perspective. I start by only painting one face of the tooth, then I go back and slowly add to it until it looks good. Then just need to repeat it on each other tooth. Easy peasy. And I get a free black outline if I just paint clean. It's almost like it's painting itself. And I didn't forget about his drool. I filled that in with Aqua Alchemy. Less is very much more here. Tiny brush, tiny load, tiny dot touches. I'd rather there be less than I want than more than I want. To match the aquamarine shirt he wears, I mixed up the alchemy with Shield Wall and then slotted it in at the collar. This will clean up the transitions and messy edges from the coat and skin. Again, working smart to save me some of that working hard. Then I took care of his knife, first with a bit of gunmetal and a dry brush focused on the middle of the blade. This is going to leave me some darker spots towards the tip and the heel, kind of giving me some free shading. And once I browned up the handle, they were looking slick. Now it's time for the final step that's really going to bring this together, the black lining. Here's where having a few tiny detail brushes come in handy. I slowly traced every major crease that needed detailing. And best advice here is to stick to the single movement that you have the most confidence in and move the model around that. For me, it's a straight back pull, so I will turn the model so that it lines up and feels easiest. Then just commit. You can try your best to keep it fairly even, but a bit of randomness is fine because most of it will just read like natural doodle lines. And particular bad ones can always be corrected with a repaint of the base color. Just don't forget to do the mask and the arms, and give a little slash to every major crease you feel confident in getting at. Just try your best not to overload the pants. Too much and it'll get too busy. Once you get them all down, it's time to glue them up and call it done. And wubba-lubba-dub-dub! These ricks came out great. Just the right scale for an office shelf, and the cartoon style really shines here. Don't ever think you need absolutely perfect lines to get good results in this style. Personally, I really think my client's gonna like it. Oh, and before I forget to mention, this sculpt has a little extra trick up its sleeve. It has room to put a Christmas light in the pumpkin. Here's hoping my client actually hooks up some LEDs to it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I appreciate you all watching until the end. I gotta hit 4,000 view hours in a single year and I have like a quarter of that. I guess that means I just gotta make more art. Hope you enjoyed this holiday weekend. I'm gonna be going over to a Friendsgiving and diving back into the painting as soon as I get back with Absolute Batman from Super Shark. So until then, thank you for watching, stay creative, and always enjoy today.